Good morning, my friends around the world. So I was in Shanghai and I had one of my something that nowadays I can just call my life journey signature, that the synchronicities. So I was waiting to board in the plane to come back in London. Well, right now I'm not in London. As you can see, there is not seaside in London. I'm away. And while waiting to board, because I was in holiday in China for a couple of weeks, traveling, I tried to understand more about what's going on over there. I noticed a guy that's staring at me, and okay, like at first I let it go, and then kind of look at him again, and he was still staring. So with the corner of my eye I keep checking, and he was still staring. Now when those kind of things happens, you know, there are many reasons why it might happen. Is in love? Possible. He's crazy? Possible. He's just like this, just staring to people? Possible. Or he thinks he knows me. So I kind of I wasn't really in the mood to find out. I was not really in I just wasn't in the mood. I wasn't really interested to find out what was the reason, but there was no time for that, because he broke the ice and told me, I know you. Do I know you? I say, maybe. I mean, his face looked familiar. I could see that I did see that face somewhere. It's just I couldn't recollect where. So I thought that maybe when I was in Shanghai visiting an ancient palace, I came across some funny people, basically that's spending all afternoon taking selfie in that palace, more than looking at the palace. And while I was staring to those two kids, who knows what they were doing, probably some TikTok stuff, I noticed a guy, like a Western European, looking at them. And then we look at each other and smiled. So he did look like this guy. So I told him that have you been to this ancient palace in Shanghai, like in the garden of these palaces? No. I'm only here to change my plane. I was in Osaka in Japan. All right. I said, look, where do you live? I live in London. Ah, all right. So I started to think where I might have seen it. Maybe his friend of friends, or more likely working as a freelance. I made him coffee somewhere. So I asked him, which is your favorite coffee? Where you normally go when you have a coffee? And he tells me, well, when I used to live in Islington, like not anymore. And when I was there, I used to go to have a coffee often at Devotion Coffee, and say, okay, bingo, that's where it is. I go to this cafe to work often. The owner is a friend, and I kind of it's like thinking when we might have met. I even kind of remember the episode, even if I wasn't sure 100%. But so this episode definitely happened. It's just I'm not sure if he was involved or somewhere else. And so I had a Japanese customer, and I do speak a bit of Japanese, so I started to talk in Japanese to the guy, and there was this other customer waiting, the one that I think it was him, and he got involved in the conversation in Japanese, surprising everyone. And I cannot remember that when I told him how come he could speak Japanese. I think the Japanese guy told him how he could. He said that he was an English teacher in Japan in the past. So anyway, it was time to get into the plane, so we said bye. We were not really sure 100%, but we thought that probably that's how we met. Face is familiar, so definitely I met him somewhere. So we get into the plane, and while walking inside, I start to think that, well, in the last few days before the end of that trip, I was thinking that I wanted a sign that I was in the right spiritual path. I wanted a sign like it happened in the past, where I met people in the most unexpected and unusual places, so I was really thinking, I was really into this idea that, to meet someone, to experience a synchronicity like happened many in the past. And I didn't give it really much weight, I didn't really have a really strong wish to happen. It just I just wanted to happen, that just for me to know that I was in the right frequency, right energy place. And that happened. That happened in the most unexpected way, when I was expecting. And I love that. I love that. So I got into the plane, thought about that for a while more, and left. We took off and went to London, and I'm back to the routine. I have to thank God, the universe, whatever name you call it, that I do something I love. So the routine is not a routine. I mean, still a routine, but it's a game. It's a fun routine. It's not. I wake up in the morning looking forward to go to do what I love. So I can only be extremely grateful for that. It passed, I think, past a week or maybe a few days, 5 days, I don't know. Anyway, it passed some time since I'm back in London. And it's Sunday. On Sunday, I think it was the same week. So I think I got back in London, maybe it was a Tuesday, something like that. And on Sunday, I have a Japanese class where I practice and try to improve my Japanese. Very slowly, but getting there. And while I was practicing, a guy comes in the room. So the place where I do this Japanese class, Japanese exchange language, is inside the pub upstairs. The organizer rent the space for the day, and that's where we do, the class. And then then after we socializing with drinks and chit chat. And people try to find a girlfriend, and the girls try to find a boyfriend. Basically, in many cases. So normally I leave after the class, after the exchange language, and normally I go back home. I'm not interested in that part. But anyway, we were still in the exchange language part of it, and someone new comes late, and guess who he was? It was the same guy that I met at Shanghai airport. Now, we look at each other, I say, you, and then he look at me and say, yes, that's where we met before. Now, it's possible, but I honestly have no recollection. I don't remember at all I ever met this guy at the meetup. Now, did I skip realities? Did I skip a parallel universe? I just don't remember this guy at that meetup group. I have no idea. All I know is that in my journey, that's a sign that I'm on the right path, frequency-wise, energy-wise, spiritual-wise. Now, what is really hard? Yeah, I mean, it's already hard to reach that point, but you can, you know, but the real hardest part is to maintain it. It's really hard. I mean, at least for me, I found it really hard. So I do reach that state easily, but then I won't use the word fail because there is no such a thing as a failure. You know, we win or we learn. But that's where I still learning to maintain the frequencies and not let any external circumstances to, you know, like take those energies down. So I'm learning to how maintain it. I don't get external circumstances over and over again disrupt and make me lose the balance. So that's the hardest part. That's the hardest part to maintain that state. So anyway, I was really happy that happened. I always love that when that happened, and just wish you to be, all of you, in the right spiritual path of love and happiness, because that's the only way. It's the only way. It's the only way